afternoon garage. So the time has come today to put the engine back in the car, and I put fluids in it and hook it all up, and then we'll build some oil pressure in it and then see if we can't, I'll get her fired off. Pretty nervous, but I think good things will happen. All right, getting ready to throw this thing back in. Well, ignition system on, injectors are in, heat exchangers are on. Ooh, look at that, turbo valve covers. That warm-up regulator. Let's throw this thing back in. Okay, got the engine in, just about getting ready to go, and put the car on the lift, and I find that. Yeah, cover's seeping here, and it was actually kind of coming down, and it traveled to where the oil cap was there in the center of the motor, and well, I thought it was a bunch of something else, and it's just a little leak right here. So thank God I don't have a case leak or anything like that. And it's really interesting how this oil kind of dissolves this this sealant that was kind of left over there, and it takes it away. So pull that off and put some Yama Bond on it, put it back together.
3 days later.
All right, I've taken this apart 2 or 3 different times to try to fix this leak. You can see it's still leaking. Not quite sure why it's still leaking, but it's going, the oil's running down the seam there. There's no drops or anything like that. It's just wet, and I don't like that. So it looks like I have to take this whole thing apart again. Of course, I put the bumper on, I put the exhaust on, and well, fun, fixing these small little tiny leaks.
The next day.
Okay, I see a problem initially. Let's see, turn the key on here. Looks about 70 pounds of oil pressure. So I think I'll go back and check the sender back there, but oh, look at that. Oil levels working in the oil tank. Let's check out that sender. Oh, that's way too high. Pull that out.
Much later.
All right, let's see if we fix that gauge. Yeah, that zeroes out now, so that's good. Got just a little bit of oil in the oil tank there, but that's okay because that'll come up when the engine gets warm. So let's see if we have any oil pressure here. All right, about 20 pounds. So let's plug in the coil and fuel pump and see if it fires. All right, here goes. Build some fuel pressure first and then see if I need to open the garage door. All right, looks fine, so give her a try. Well, looks like I got some troubleshooting to do. No spark. Right, got the distributor out, got it grounded here, got the plug grounded, got the ignition turned on, and well, it's directly hooked up to the coil. There's no spark. I can see this connector here. This is the actual trigger. I'm kind of wondering if that may not. Oh, there we go. Let's try it again. There we go. All right, throw the distributor back in, try it again. Pretty good spark. So up here, I'm just firing on one cylinder. So unplug the fuel pump and do some more troubleshooting. All right, I forgot about that throttle up thing, and also that sets the cold start valve. So it looks like I need to adjust my timing a little bit. Getting really close, but I notice it's kind of popping a little bit. So that kind of tells me maybe it's a little too far advanced. So you have to pull it out and move it a tooth and try the timing a little bit. All right, you can see where that index mark is. It's pretty much right before that index mark, but I think I'm gonna have to, well, move that distributor a little far forward. Make it fire a little earlier. I'm not running on all of them, so I can see the door here is shaking pretty bad. Not an issue. Hey, it's running. Find out what that is. I think I got all the ignition problems resolved. Went back to fuel and well, I'm going to do a test here. So basically I just lifted the sensor plate, loaded the cylinders up, and let's figure out what they are. Now, if you remember in a previous video, I tested the injectors and done a flow test on them, and they all look pretty good. So I'm not quite sure why this happened here. This is number 3, looks like it's not working at all. 6 is very low volume, and this one actually was a lot, this one actually dripped into the cylinder, so it's actually flooding the cylinder, which isn't a good idea. But number 3 is the one I was concerned about, so I put it on the injector test machine. And yeah, it's indeed just plugged. So really kind of disappointed with this. I wish I had bought new injectors from the start, because this clearly is a waste of my time. I could be, well, moving right along. It looks like, you know, this was a brand new injector from before. This was a brand new one, and the volumes are about the same. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll place an order for a couple, but in the meantime, I think I'm gonna fight them and see if I can clean these up a little bit, get that car started. What a drag.
2 hours later.
That sounds pretty good. See what that looks like. All right, here's the results of the retest. So I was able to get number 3. I just kind of opened the pintle a little bit, it started working, so threw that back in there. And then number 6, I actually had to take number 6 and clean it up with the acid like I did in that one video. And everything looks pretty good, so I think I'll throw the injectors back in and see if it'll start. All right, getting ready to run this test here, and I noticed that these 2 rear cylinders, look at that. There's a bunch of fuel on that one. That's number 3. Number 2 here, a little bit of fuel in there. So these 2 are leaking, and you know, I know they're working well. They have good spray patterns, and they turn it on and off and that kind of thing. Probably good enough to start the car, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to order 4 more injectors, replace the, well, the 4 I haven't, and in fact, I cleaned that one up, and that one looks pretty good back there at number 6. So all I want to do is just get it so I can run a test and get it fired. All right, so I got those 2 injectors working. See what it does now. All right, it runs. All right, so now I need to figure out what I need to do to break those rings in. Well, it sounds really good, so do some research and figure that out. So I didn't even lift the throttle lever, so there was no cold start enrichment. That was purely a start on just the warm-up regulator that I calibrated. Worked pretty good. I'm a happy guy. Also better remember to set the idle speed and time this thing before I do anything else. Alright, as far as I got in the interior, got the door cards in and you know, the sound deadening in, got the seat in so I can drive it, just one of the seats. I think I'm going to leave the carpet out of it right now and put it outside in the rain. Got rain to this time of year, and I think it'd be really easy to tell if I have a leak. Past one of these gaskets, throw the carpet in later. So that'll be pretty good. Next summer, I'll have a fresh carpet kit in this thing. So, I'm going to get ready to pull this thing off here. Probably just going to drive it up and down the road, make sure everything kind of works. Maybe even heat it up and check the oil level, that kind of thing. And then I'll be pulling another vehicle on the lift. It'll be my 81 DeLorean this time. Probably won't be making any videos on that car because, well, my videos don't do very well when I when I document DeLorean stuff. And, you know, it takes, you know, tens of hours to do video editing on these videos to make it happen. So on that car, I've got some K-jet issues, little upholstery issue here and there, but mostly I kind of want to just get the thing to idle correctly, and it hasn't for a long time. But the next vehicle that I'll be documenting on video will be my 84 911 Cabriolet. I'm going to put a convertible top on that. I'm going to finish the interior out, do a lot of paint work, and I have video of this car, a lot of paint work I've done, people have asked me about, and you know, I was going to include it in all kind of one big paint special, and then I'll be able to show you exactly what I did with this and how I painted it. It was really easy to do, just kind of piece by piece here on the lift, and I'll be doing that with the white car as well. So if you get anything out of this, I think you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you can, and share if you think it'll help somebody else out. It'll be a little bit, but hey, there's more to come.